Last Man In podcast, episode 3.
Four.
You're
fired.
Yeah.
July 20th, 2014. How you doing? What are we going to talk about? Let's talk about the Jets. You guys, they made signings. Not free agent signings, but restricted free agent signings. Who did they sign?
Did they sign an NHL level player?
Well, you could
Half?
You could debate who is
Hands
NHL
and feet.
level.
Hands and feet NHL level.
Yeah.
players. They signed Carl Klingberg 1 year. Actually, all of these, I'm just going to name off all the 1 year, two-way, $650,000 contracts. Carl Klingberg, Eric Rodell, Patrice Cormier, John Albert, you're not worth that much. $585, I'm sorry.
Hey, he has a goal though.
He does have a goal.
He had a beautiful goal.
Yeah.
Breakaway top corner.
Was that from Buff? Or was that the Odell one?
No, I think it was from Buff.
Okay.
I think it was
What
from
number
Buff.
was he wearing?
70.
70. That is such a beauty number.
And it was on, I'm pretty sure it was on TSN National too, so like everyone saw it. And then next game he was
why
just...
is he wearing 70?
Because he's
No,
like
I know.
he's stuck in the Chris Letang where I don't think Chris Letang knows he's got a safe job in the NHL.
Well,
He's
actually
still
his job's
wearing
not
58.
safe because apparently he's on the market.
Really?
Okay, fine. He's still wanted by someone.
Well,
though,
yeah,
in
yeah,
terms of,
no,
like,
yeah.
It's ridiculous. So, like, why do you guys with bad numbers?
Maybe he likes
Even Eric
58.
Odell,
Well, there's a lot of. Well, who's Odell? 23.
They have the same number.
58.
Oh, 58.
Yeah.
Why did I say 23?
I don't know.
Who's
Do we
23?
have a 23?
We had one.
Slater was 23.
What was
in
Ponikarovsky?
Atlanta, 23.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
23. Holy,
Slater was 20.
What a
23.
great signing that was.
No, was that a signing or was that a trade?
That was a signing, and he
That was
played
a
like
free
10
agent.
games.
And then we traded him.
Because he played the lockout.
Kate, I've talked about this with a couple other people I know, but take away the draft, because you could give that to the scouting, and take away, like, has Chevy done an actual decent signing?
Decent signing?
Mm-hmm.
Like
the
free
only
agency.
signing I could think of would be, the only
Like free agent
I was going to say
signing?
for a leak, but that was a trade, so it doesn't count.
And that was landed to him on his lap.
All he's
because
got...
they were trying to clear cap.
He has Tanner Glass.
He signed
Year one.
Tanner Glass.
Year one. Yeah. And
Did
then,
Well, I guess
Yeah, and then he has...
the Lad deal was good. I'm
But
a
that
fan
wasn't
of the
a
Lad
free
deal.
agent one.
Not-
okay, I see
We're
what you
taking
mean.
away that.
Yeah,
So,
like players that he brought
So
in.
not re-upping players.
Yeah,
So
just
there
in
was
general.
So there
straight
was
up.
Tanner Glass, Jokinen,
Ponikarovsky,
now Perot, which we don't know.
that
Probably
might
be the best of the four.
is he going to go 85?
Yeah,
Really?
he already said that.
Yeah, he's
Why?
Because Thorburns 22. And he wears 22 in Anaheim.
We can't pick another number.
What's wrong?
It's like a wide
85 's
receiver
sweet.
number. I don't like it.
What's wrong with 80?
It's
You just
football.
want? Would you get his jersey if it was 22? Just because your favorite number is
Perot?
22?
No, he hasn't earned the right to wear 22.
No.
So.
Oh, okay.
He won't get a Thorburn jersey, so I don't...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's because Thorburns is...
He's heart and
Pretty
soul.
bad.
Hey, he's heart and soul.
No, he's not hard and soul to me. Everyone has to agree
So,
it's hard and soul.
I'm sorry.
In Winnipeg.
What are we paying Chris Thorburn?
We're paying him way too much to be heart and soul, but he's still heart and soul.
What did Anaheim pay Danny Heatley? What did
One
Nashville pay Derek Roy?
$1 million.
$1 million.
One of those guys got
And,
1.05.
and Mike Ribeiro got $1 million. Too.
Exactly. So
No, Derek, one of those guys got like 1.05. So
okay.
Ribeiro got, I think, a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, so...
I mean, like,
We're good at signings.
Gabe,
Yeah, he's heart and soul.
Ponikarovsky,
but he's not
900K.
I don't see the heart and soul
not
factor.
Ponikarovsky.
I'm not buying into that.
Stepniak.
He's
Yeah,
awful.
but how is it? He's heart and soul.
How is he heart and soul? You have to be good to be heart and soul, or somewhat.
Lock
Or
shot.
play more
He
than
has
half the
one or
games.
two fights
He will,
a year that he wins.
He
But
w-
see, that's
he
a
willing-
garbage that people say, oh, well, it was against Chara, because Thorburns an idiot. That's why.
He won the fight.
Who cares?
Yeah, he fights twice in a year because he only plays 30 times a year. I don't like it.
He's
I
Peluso is the better version of him,
Yeah,
and he's cheaper.
I agree
and
with
Peluso
you.
actually can score every once in a while, which is
Well,
nice.
he doesn't get playing time, so
Yeah,
that doesn't happen.
well.
But
Thorburn, I don't. I think
Thorburns-
people fell in love with him the first year because he was just that extra person on the GST line, and everyone fell in love with that line.
Yeah.
Everyone was in love with that line.
I'd take him over Slater at this point, though.
I would
not
take
take
a bag of pucks over both of those. people.
I mean,
And I
Slater's...
can't wait.
a new
wait.
dryer for them would be great.
Well, yeah,
No, we can afford the facilities. It's the pucks, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Well, with the Vander going 5 feet up or 3 feet wide. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They must lose so many pucks.
So
Everywhere.
Yeah. After practice, they just get a runner to go pick up all the pucks in the.
Like, oh, this was Kane's.
Yeah, Kane.
He just.
Bufflin's pretty bad, too.
They were all
Yeah.
bad. in reality. Like but I mean,
Like every
they all
hockey
shoot
player.
top corner.
Yeah, and then you miss a lot.
It's the least percentage shot. So I mean,
I'd like to know, like, I know when you're like being taught hockey, like I didn't grow up. Do they teach you to shoot where you want to shoot, or at the goalie's chest and hope it?
I had a coach.
rattles off?
I had a coach whose philosophy. This is Alex Roski's dad.
Okay.
His philosophy was first shift, first shot on the goalie,
Head.
slap shot right at the
Oh,
head,
my dad
hard,
always
slap
told me.
shot right at the head as hard as you can.
Sets the tone.
Scare the living shit out of him, and then he'll be scared the rest of the game.
Yeah.
He said that everybody has to have a hit on the first shift, and
Yeah.
the first shot goes right at the goalie's head.
I
Hard as you
remember.
can.
Well, when I played hockey, that was the thing: was gotta hit your first shift,
Yeah.
and try to set the tone with a shot somewhere early. Like you want to go high on the goalie first. Never go high on your own goalie in warm up. We should teach that to some of the guys on our team. Carrie.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't.
Yeah.
No.
I floated at the glove.
Yeah.
Get that
Well,
glove
you got to
action
get
going.
them warmed up. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah, warm
goalie,
up.
your first
Pass,
shot,
block,
if your
glove.
first shot on an opposing goalie is in the face, it's gonna knock him out, or not knock him out, but make him scared.
Just like him a little
Or you could just like be like Pavlik and be scared all the time of shots and just not know what's going on.
I don't know if he's scared all the time or if he's just out of position.
Or if he's
Yeah,
just
he's just
that
really
bad. He is really bad.
He makes really good saves, and then he'll just like he'll stand on his head, and then he'll just kill you with a bad goal in the same game, like same period.
Well, he was in net for that debacle in Philadelphia, right? For like
The
6 goals,
yeah.
9-8 game.
He was, but so was Brizgalov. So,
Yeah, but okay. Well, we never paid a goal.
I remember that night.
and to be fair, the Jets were up 6-2 in that game, and then they were losing 7-6 at one point.
I remember that. That was,
Well, I remember that night
that was
because
such a crazy
Dan
game.
was working. I worked that night till like 7 or something, and then Dan worked until like 10:30 or something
Yeah,
like
we
that.
watched it after.
And Dan recorded it, and I don't have PVR, so I just didn't go on my phone, and I turned it off and everything. And then we come back here, and like we were watching with a couple other people, and they watched the score, so they knew. And Dan and I are like, "Oh yeah, 3-1 Jets, yeah, oh 3-3,
6-2.
And then like we at one point like the Jets are winning by 3, or one of the other teams are winning by 3. And
The
it's
Jets
like,
were winning 6-2, and they were losing 7-6 at one point.
And then it finished 9-8.
Yes.
And somehow no one on our team had a hat trick.
Let's talk about that.
Nobody had
Let's
more
talk
than
about
one
that.
goal.
Yeah, no one had a multi-goal game in a 9-8 game.
Well,
I guess
Does
that's
that
spreading
prove-
it around
Hey.
good, but
yeah, I get okay. Would you guys rather have one prolific go-to like a Stamkos 50-goal scorer, or would you rather have two 25-goal scorers that
I want
aren't
230s. Can
aren't-
I be greedy and
Yeah.
get 2 30-goal
No,
scores?
you can't have 230s.
I
I said
want
two
230s.
25s.
I want
I want
That's
I
the
want
comparison.
140 and 120.
No, you can't.
Too
It's
bad.
50 is the number. 25.
Okay, and then
2 25-goal scores. Didn't
Or
we have that last year?
150.
we
Or
had
150.
we had 3 last year.
3 20-goal scores.
320 plus, and we had 4. Lad, Little, Buff, Wheeler.
Okay, so we just...
Kane had 19. Jokic had 19.
It would be
I
nice
think.
to have like a prolific go-to guy all the time, and that's what Kane's supposed to be, but he hasn't. He's had one 30-goal season. That's it. So, yes, being a fan of other teams such as Toronto, it's nice knowing that you have Phil Kessel there. And in years past, they always had somebody. Yeah, you're wearing the shirt. I know.
I did. I'm wearing a USA hockey shirt, and on the back, because Phil Kessel's awesome, I call him Filthy Phil. So on the name bar, it's PHILTHY 81 on the back.
So it's
Yes,
just
I
filthy.
understand it's filthy from Toronto, and it's US. I've had some definite scowls.
You're
when
right.
I wear
That
the
shirt is filthy.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
It's
It's
gross.
beautiful. I got another one coming in the mail.
So yeah, oh, I heard what you have on the back
Trill
of that.
Kessel.
That's even worse.
Trill
This
Kessel.
So you're
makes no
saying
sense.
So your question is it a go-to goal scorer or just a go-to player?
Goal scorer.
Wow. Yeah, it'd be nice.
Well,
Like
what do
a
you mean?
Corey
Okay, go
Perry
to.
or a Steven Stamkos.
Because I
or
mean, the Jets have
someone
a
like that. Is that what you? Is
Yeah,
that what you're saying?
yeah.
The Jets have a go-to player, Wheeler, but he's not a goal scorer. He's more of a setup guy.
Well, guys.
I mean, he
But
hold on.
hey,
he led them in goals last
I'm-
year, but he's not a.
I would love to just have somebody who's up there in points every year, like in the 80s, around there, like point a game. I think that would be better than just having one guy who scores 50 goals and has 10 assists a year. I'd rather have a guy that.
Oh.
Well, that's very low balling that number.
No,
But like,
I would agree.
I'd
with
rather
you.
have a guy that maybe scores 35 goals and then tosses.
35 and 55?
Yeah,
Something like
tossing and that's what I think a lot of teams would love to have too. But like you
Well,
look at Ryan Getzlaf
sure.
and he's like that.
Oh, yeah.
He scores
yeah.
and
You
he
look
can
at, like,
pass.
leaders and guys on the
But
team.
I think like it's not even just a goal scorer. You need a good 1-2 punch. You need like a good first line centerman and a good first line winger on your team.
Yeah.
Which they potentially have.
in Scheifele and Wheeler.
Yeah, or Kane, take your pick. I mean,
Yeah.
those three guys should be their go-to guys.
If you think about it, Wheeler or Little is shown that he.
Yeah, he's underrated. I would definitely.
He's definitely underrated. He's better than Tyler Bozak.
Well, they
and
actually.
Tyler Bozak.
I read an article last year, and they were comparing like all the top line centers on face-up percentage, shooting percentage, on ice, defensive, and all that. Brian Little ranked dead last in the top line centers in most stats, not all, most.
Okay.
But he ranked 1 in all the second line centers. Mind you, there were stipulations, like obviously teams, or like a team like Pittsburgh, they counted Evgeny Malkin in the
first line, yeah.
Because he's a top line center. But Brian Little's number 1, like pretty much 1 in every category for second line centers. So, but we have to work with what we were given, right? Like, it's not like we drafted Brian Little or anything like that.
I like Brian Little.
I don't think our players are as bad as everyone makes them out to be. I think they're just everyone in Winnipeg gets very negative if they don't, because they haven't done anything in 3 years. So everyone's like, "Oh, the players are terrible." They're not terrible. They're good players.
I guess we'll count Brian Little as a top line center because he is. Which teams have a top line center that isn't really a top line center?
Tyler Bozak, Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah. Calgary, who I don't even know who their top center is.
I guess Sean Monahan.
Who's top center in Montreal? Plekanec?
Desharnais, not top.
No, I don't think either Plekanec or Desharnais is really
but
that
then you name
top
those
player.
Desharnais or Plekanec. But then they also have like
Galchenyuk and
well, yeah, those guys. But they
those
have
guys
like
aren't top line.
they have like the punch. You know what I mean? Like Desharnais patches, Plekanec as Eller.
Yeah, they have good setups, but the question was, do they have a top line center? No, they don't.
That's true. But then where they lack in that position,
they have 4 solid lines.
Elite goaltending, like
they have
elite something else.
Arguably the best goaltender. You could argue.
Yeah, yeah.
That
He's for sure.
He's top 5.
Top 3.
Anyone you ask, he's in top 5.
Top
for
5.
Sure.
Not the best, but top 5. At least
I would. Yeah, you said 3, right?
I say top 3.
Top 3.
I'd say 3.
Who's better?
I'd say Quick's the best.
I say Quick,
Lundqvist. Then you could say
then Price. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because Pekka.
I would say Tuukka.
Year, so.
I'd say Tuukka might be 3.
Yeah,
might be 3.
No, but see, okay, fine. We'll settle at 5 though, for sure.
Yeah,
5.
He's top 5.
Yeah. So.
So then who rounds up the top 5 then for goalies?
Who do we have?
I would say Pekka, even though he was injured last year, he's for sure out there.
I could say Pekka.
Because he missed 51 games last year.
I'd say Bishop.
Ben Bishop 1 year. Come on.
Yeah, it's like saying Semyon Varlamov.
Okay, if you're talking overall, yeah, no, he's not. But
Ben Bishop will be. Probably.
Yeah. Like Craig Anderson had 1 year.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So like anyone can have 1 good year. Andrew Raycroft had 1 good year.
That's tough. Yes.
Yeah, there's anger in that. There was anger in that one. Would you put Mike Smith in there? Ryan Miller?
I'd put.
See, now I think last year.
I was gonna say Corey.
Neither of them had good seasons.
I was gonna say Corey Crawford, but I don't think he's that good.
No, I'd say Pekka's in there. I would put Pekka.
Pekka. Even though he was injured, he's still been consistently.
He's consistently good on a bad team.
Yeah. Well.
So now back to like the center thing. When you miss,
you don't think Nashville's better than us?
No way. Not even.
What? They have a clear-cut number 1 defenseman, clear-cut number 1 goalie.
Yeah.
But then they lack scoring. We have scoring. We don't have a clear-cut number 1 D yet. Trouba. And we don't have.
I will say.
I would say Pavlik's a clear-cut. Well, he's.
I will say Trouba is better than Jones. I will say it.
I'll say it.
It's different players though.
Yeah.
If I
pick one or the other, I take Trouba in a heartbeat.
Jets are better than Nashville. I mean, Nashville made some big...
Okay, who do we have that measures up to Pekka Rinne or Shea Weber?
Okay, defense... Yeah, but who do they have besides Weber on defense? And Jones. They have nothing.
Matthias Ekholm.
Yeah,
we have Toby Enstrom. Delzato.
No, they don't.
Where is he?
He's RFA.
He's RFA, and nobody wants him because apparently he's not very good.
Well, he's good, but he wants like a...
he wants a big contract?
Well, he doesn't want a big
contract.
No, they said that he's... term and whatnot.
They said he's probably going to have to take a tryout to prove he's good enough to play in the NHL.
Well, that worked out for Mason Raymond last year, so...
No, yeah, for sure. He's definitely not... Actually, I was thinking that if the Jets could get him for cheap, I'd take him.
Mason Raymond?
No, Delzato.
We don't need more D. That's their abundance.
We have an abundance.
Yeah, but why not?
Who are you going to knock out? Where does he play?
Clitsome Party.
Although the one thing about Delzato, which I do like, is he's played in a defensive system before with both New York and Nashville, where it's like...
And Tortorella didn't play him because he didn't like him. because he couldn't play the defensive system.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then no. No, I don't want him then.
Okay.
Don't want him then.
Well, Nashville.
I thought
didn't
maybe
like
bringing
him, so-
up in a defensive system, he might be a defensive defenseman. Because that's
Yeah,
one of
no,
those
it-
things we need.
So now it's probably I don't want to put words in people's mouths or anything, but it sounds
In their
like
mouses?
maybe in their mouths.
Those
Put words
Yeah.
in their mouths.
Wow.
Maybe it's the attitude
That's
problem.
Yeah, I can see
Well,
it being an
obviously,
attitude
right?
problem.
Well, it's.
If he wants money and they're not. Gonna
I don't think it's
return it.
attitude. I think it's talent. He's not as good as he was panned out to be.
Yeah, that could be it too.
That's what I heard.
Okay, so
where
wait.
did we?
Top line
top
center.
5 goalies.
So we have
Oh, yeah,
Toronto,
top-
Montreal. Let's go through the Canadian ones then.
Well,
Hank.
Edmonton, yes.
Edmonton has the top line center. Oh, they have two. Really?
Yeah.
Top line center. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
We'd say depending on Hall's a wing, but Nuge, I guess.
I guess.
So Edmonton's the
Kind
first Canadian team that has a top line center.
Well,
No,
Vancouver, we didn't get
Sedins.
there yet.
Wait. Yes, I said first team.
Oh yeah.
Ottawa did.
does not.
They did, but they just got rid of him.
Now they have DJ Spinbad, or DJ Zbad, Zabinabad.
Oh,
Zabinajad.
Zabinajad?
Yeah.
Because
Zabinajad.
Zabinajad.
Remember that day? Were you watching draft?
I was not with you guys.
Okay, but were you watching it?
I believe so.
Okay, I remember watching it in Ottawa. Brian Murray walked up and he's like, "From Sweden." Whatever
Really?
it
You're
was.
gonna make fun of
You're
Brian
gonna make
Murray
fun of
right
the
now?
guy.
It's
that
his
has cancer?
voice. I
He
have
has
to.
cancer.
I'm not
You
making
heartless-
fun of him.
you
I'm making fun of
heartless-
his voice. Heartless pig.
Heartless pig. That's a little extreme.
Anyways, they came from Sweden. Mika Zibanejad. DJ Spinbad. He didn't say that. But then I knew that Sean Couturier was still on the board, and then Chevy just crushed everyone's hearts.
With Mark Scheifele. But he hasn't been bad. So why does...
I'd
No,
take
that's true.
Scheifele over Couturier.
I think
Any
for
day.
the team we're trying to build, Scheifele's better than
Scheifele
what
would be a top
Couturier
line
is.
offensive center. Sean Couturier is a second line defensive center.
Like, just for what we're trying to build, I
Yeah.
think Scheifele
For
fits
what the
that
Jets
more and
need.
more.
Oh yeah, right. Okay,
Scheifele
so
like
that
Ottawa,
Couturier was.
Ottawa doesn't have a center.
No.
Top
Toronto
line, no.
doesn't have
No.
one.
No.
Montreal
Montreal
doesn't.
debatable.
No.
I don't think so, though.
Jets don't. Yeah, not yet at least.
Okay. I'm just waiting. You can just shove it.
Yeah,
in.
you
Get
can
it
just
over with.
Hey, I'm eating. I'm hungry. Screw you guys. You want some?
We'll open the hole bigger then if you're gonna share these. Yes, of course. What
Oh,
else
God,
things?
this is...
Give 'em
Marshmallow
dispersion.
bunnies.
Marshmallow...
Marshmallow bunnies. Okay.
The best 5 seconds you'll ever put in your mouth.
Really?
Wow.
I don't
Really?
know. Dinosaurs are pretty awesome.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, so
Calgary,
no.
no. Vancouver, yeah.
So
Okay.
if we're counting Brian Little, that's what 2, 3.
3 out of 7.
Okay. Does anyone? Okay, let's go through the next division then.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Let's just go through our division.
Okay.
Let's just go through the Central.
Okay.
Okay.
St. Louis.
Yep.
David Backus, I guess.
Yep.
Spezza. No, I wouldn't say Backus is number 1, but I'd say Spezza is number 1.
Spets is not in St. Louis.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
So-
right. Why am I Stastny?
But now that we're talking-
Stastny.
But now that we're
My bad.
talking about Dallas, Sagan. Yes.
Yep.
Proved that last year.
Yeah.
Thank you,
They have-
Bob.
Sagan
They
is
have
not
2
a
number
center.
1s.
That would be Jamie Benn. That's
Yeah,
a center.
Jamie Benn.
Jim Ben, is he?
Who, yeah, he is a center who just celebrated his birthday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot cake.
Bastard.
If
Ah,
you've ever seen Greg, his NHL equivalent doppelganger is seriously Jamie Benn.
Yeah.
Like it's.
if I have my hair long and have a little bit of peach fuzz, I could actually. Well, 3 months into growing facial hair, I could look like him.
Yeah.
Very much so. But there is one scary looking picture from his like 3rd year in Dallas,
Yeah.
where he's just skating by the boards, and it's identical to me.
Yeah.
And I showed like people in my family, and they thought it was me.
It's terrifying,
They're
actually.
like, hey Greg, when did you get drafted by Dallas?
Why are you posing as a Dallas star?
Yeah.
Stop.
Okay, so Dallas, yeah, they have one.
They have 2.
They have 3. Like Sagan could play center, Ben could play center,
And Spezza.
and Spezza.
Okay.
So, okay,
St. Louis has 2. Dallas has 2.5. 3. He's a winger.
okay.
Chicago has
Taves.
Taves, who's the second line.
They
And
signed.
Zeus last year.
No, they signed Richards.
Richards. They have 2.
Okay.
So then
Avalanche
Oh,
have what? 2.
Avalanche have Duchesne.
Yeah. Who's
They
the
don't
second
have.
line?
Well, they don't have O'Reilly. Well, they used
Okay,
to have.
so they have
Stastny
1 for
and
now.
O'Reilly. They have 1 for now.
Uh,
Like if they lose O'Reilly, we might be better than Colorado next year.
we might be.
Because part of the reason why Colorado was so good was they were deep, and they also had Varlamov playing an unbelievable
Avalanche
season.
could be a bust. Like
They-
if,
they could
if
fall
there's
back
one
down this
team
year.
that I think does way worse than everyone thinks, it could be them.
Although,
Overachieved last year.
if you think about it, they lost. Who did they lose already? They lost Stastny
Parenteau.
and Parenteau. If Iginla can play well with Duchesne, Iginla's going to score 30 goals again.
Yeah, but
He
they-
scores
they're
30 goals
slow.
every year. Who cares? He
Yeah.
can still score a lot.
We saw that power play in action. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Iginla could still, and then Minnesota has Nico Koivu.
Who's their second center?
Oh,
Randall?
that flow. Oh, that flow.
So they have one.
So they have one.
Clear cut. Number
One.
McKilground.
Nashville.
He's not
Nashville, I would say, doesn't.
Buckle up. You
Doesn't
joking
have-
me? Only Jokinen is in the top
Oh,
5
come
center? Or Derek Roy or Mike Ribeiro? Come on,
No.
guys.
No, they have
Derek
three.
Roy used to be,
He
actually.
used to be, but he's slipped so far.
Yeah. I remember when Toronto wanted to get Derek Roy, and then they didn't, and they were going to give up a lot for him.
For $1 million, though, that's not.
Yeah.
It's not a bad.
Well,
deal.
no, it's not a bad deal at all. I would take him for
I mean-
$1 million.
Ribeiro might kill half their team, but
Wow.
Did that happen this week or 2 weeks ago?
What?
this week,
Those signings?
Signings.
Those
They both
signings
happened on
were
Monday.
during this week.
I think Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, let's round out this division and just...
I think that
We
was
did.
it.
That was it?
So
Okay,
that was it.
well, we
So
So-
Nashville doesn't have a top line ever.
That's the only team in our division. So, I don't know where we got with this. Why were we talking about first line centers?
Because we were talking about round out,
What
if you
about
have
why
one
are
really
we-
good or two really good, you're missing the other.
Oh,
And then,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what separates
yeah.
Cup champs, is that they have all of those things.
Well, yeah.
If the Jets had a reliable number one goalie, they'd be a playoff team, in my opinion.
Even after the moves this year?
They'd be border. Well, that's
Okay, hold
tough.
on. You have
That's
to be
tough.
top 4 in your
That's
division,
tough.
right, to make it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who would we beat? Who would you put worse than the Jets? Preds, yes.
Preds,
Okay, Preds, Colorado,
Avalanche,
and potentially
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
All right.
Yeah, okay. They
Because
have,
the Wild don't have a goalie.
right now they have.
Yeah, right.
Well, they have Kemper. They have Briz Gallup.
Brizgallov's
Briz is
free
a
agent.
free
Free agent. Okay.
Harding doesn't play
And
because
Harding's-
of his MS. He hasn't played much last year. Backstrom's
And
still there, but he's
Backstrom's like
pretty
up in the
old.
air.
He's pretty
Yeah.
old.
So no, they don't. Their goalies is in question right now, which is interesting.
I just want to say I went to a Wild game 2 years ago, and they were doing interviews, like pre-game video and whatnot, and they were doing interviews with Nick Backstrom, and I turned to my friend who I went with, and I'm like, wait, Nick Backstrom's skinny, and it threw me for a loop, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, well, Pavlik isn't skinny, and he's like, we have one of 5 fat goalies in the league, okay?
Is
It's
Pavlik really fat?
well, he's got
some.
okay. He's in
He's
way
got a
better
fat
shape
face?
than I'll ever be in, but he looks a little tubby. He's got that little tub. Like Jiggy. Jiggy had a little tub, and Marty Brodeur,
Yeah, but you've only seen his face. You can't
in the
really
words,
judge.
we'll find off his face, he looks a little tubby.
Okay.
Because Setaguchi had a fat face.
Well, that's because of
And he's a
his.
fat
That's because of his what?
problem. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Nothing. I don't know what to say.
What?
No, it's fine.
What?
Yeah. No,
No,
we're leaving
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
We're leaving it.
Anyways,
Something I don't know about him, or what?
no.
No, not at all.
Is he an alcoholic or something?
Perhaps.
Really?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Really?
I
Maybe.
don't think so.
That might explain why he was slow as shit this year.
I don't know.
He doesn't take good care of himself.
Yeah, I guess
That
we
could be
say
it.
that maybe.
That
But
could
that
be
was
it.
enough. Well, that's what we know. How do we know?
Where'd you?
Nowhere. It's fine.
Nowhere. It's fine.
Anyways,
Don't
okay,
worry
if
about
we're
it.
staying in the Blues, if we're staying
Which
in the
means it's
division,
true.
I just want to say, St. Louis Blues. I forgot to talk about this last week. Jaden Schwartz changes number within an hour of Vladimir Sobotka leaving to number 17. People are like, "Wow, he really must hate Sobotka." It wasn't that. He went from 9 to 17 because his sister Mandy died of cancer a couple years ago, and she wore 17. So it's to honor her and the number she wore at Yale University. So I
Okay.
thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I'll just talk about quick signings. Isles, Casey Cizikas, 2 years, $2 million. Calvin DeHaan, 2 years, $5.9 million. That's kind
I didn't think he was that good. He hasn't
Well,
shown anything in my mind.
5.9 for 2 years.
so
a
that's
lot.
half. So 3 basically.
So that's 2.95
Why?
a year, which is a lot for
It's
him.
not bad.
That's a lot.
Well,
for
we
him.
don't. Hey, do you watch
No.
Islander games? 'Cause
I can't.
don't.
He's
Only
not.
when they wear those jerseys.
Only when the thirds. They're getting new thirds this year.
Actually,
It's the Winter Classic
I did.
ones.
I did
Those are
watch
nice.
the Islanders last year when they were in Winnipeg.
Well, yeah, no, I watch the
And
Islanders
Scheifele's-
when they're on Hockey Night in Canada or
What?
playing.
That was a game Scheifele got hurt.
Was it?
Yeah.
Who hit him? Hamannik.
No, I don't think it was.
Oh, let's
Hamannik.
talk about that for right now here. Hamannik and Evander Kane. I like that ongoing feud. I don't know
They
what
just
they
need
do
to
to
keep-
each other.
But
They just
Hamannik needs to go to a team that we to the Wild, and then it'd be even better because they'd play all the time, and they
Okay,
would just hate
For
each other.
now.
do we have any good rivalries in our division right
I don't think
now?
we have any rivalries. Period.
I think we started one with the Blues at the end of last year.
Oh,
Where
well,
Trouba, Trouba got stuck in between Buff and
No.
Ryan Reeves.
Buff had 2 St. Louis guys in his hands at the same time. That was pretty funny.
I still think he
Wow,
should have
defending
knocked
Jacobs on
Lapierre out.
Yeah, well, Dennis Bayak, we all talked about this earlier.
I'd say that rivals.
I would love to have a good rivalry.
The
I
best
would love
games,
to have one.
the best division opponent the Jets played live, like the most entertaining and like where like when it, like kind of went at each other and like were good games was Colorado. That was the most entertaining games between any
Last
division
year?
opponent. Yeah.
Yeah, but there wasn't like that. There wasn't.
It wasn't like hatred,
wasn't
but they
hate.
were.
But the only divisional team that we played, they weren't in our division at the time, where I've seen actual like hatred. The Dallas Stars, when that Adam Burrish glove throwing incident with Tyler Glass.
awesome.
That was nuts.
It was so amazing.
There was a tussle in front, and Adam Burrish like got in a mini fight, and then he stole Tanner Glass's glove. As he's skating away, and the refs take him to the box, he throws it into the crowd, and the crowd throws it back like Wrigley a home run, like the shit out of our house.
And then you
Not
just see
today.
Tanner Glass as he throws
yeah.
it in, chase him down and grab him, start
Yeah, like
trying
he
to fight
like
him.
dip
That was the
dodged
best part.
ref and
Yeah.
just started.
That
like,
was the best part.
"Ah!" It's like, how dare you do that to my family? Dishonor my
I love the
family.
post game interview, and they're like, "So why'd you go after him?" He's like, "Threw my glove. I can't just let that go."
Yeah. there you go.
See, okay, so
Heart and soul guy, Tanner Glass.
yeah,
Not
that's
heart
what
and soul
heart and
guy,
soul is,
Chris
yeah.
Thorburn.
Wow.
That's why.
I think we're getting that in last year. It's little things, but Jacob Trouba, okay, he's obviously more than just heart and soul. He's awesome for now.
He's a
Pending neck injuries, because that's like the weirdest. That's like the weirdest stipulation. Like if you're a professional athlete, it's like, oh yeah, I have neck problems. They're like, whoa, okay, you what?
I know.
He has
Well, there
neck
is
problems,
another.
and he's 20.
Yeah, exactly. I know another really elite player though that also has neck problems.
What's that?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton.
He had a slight neck problem.
Yeah, but
So-
that only developed when he was after getting like smashed game in and game out for like 5 years, like 10 years.
Yeah, Trouba got smashed. The thing is, he did it to himself.
Yeah, twice. Jesus.
The best though, like, and you know that he's got good character when he can just make fun of himself in those situations.
Yeah.
Like
got
when
good character.
did you guys? I don't think you have Instagram, Dan, but I know
He's
it
like
Cam
you.
does.
Yeah, he
Oh, do you?
does.
What?
What kind of
think I am?
friend are you?
Yeah.
I don't even follow.
How
him.
Feeding you my
dare-
candy, and pass.
Brings you into his house, gives you his water.
Like,
But anyways, what was on Instagram?
him and Bogo both posted the same picture, but it was like side by side. Bogo slamming into the boards, like shoulder neck first, and then Trouba's slamming into the boards, and they're like, "Who did it better?" They're like, "See which one got more likes." And it's
Oh.
pretty
You know what? The Jacob Trouba Halloween costumes with the neck brace last year though were pretty good.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. I remember that. That was funny.
Okay, but back
Well-
to Trouba. Okay, Minnesota Wild, they were playing like last year, like December 28th or 29th in Winnipeg. Matt Cook like slew-footed Shifley in the corner, no call or anything. Couple shifts later, Trouba gets out and Cook's on.
Sorry, not to interrupt you. Did you nail the date of that game just off the top of your head?
What's that?
Yeah.
You nailed
just
the date of
knows.
that Jets game off the top of your head. Wow, that's impressive.
Well, I
you
bought
do that?
my sister tickets for Christmas.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
So I invested
Still hurts.
money into it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It still hurts.
It still hurts the pocketbook. Yeah, yeah.
that
Okay,
was an
anyways.
expensive game.
It was. But anyways, there was a scuffle in front of net, like later on while Trouba is in front of net. And Matt Cook's like pulling on Trouba, and Trouba's like laughing. And then Matt Cook goes to like take a swing almost at Trouba by grabbing his jersey. And Trouba just like puts his foot pretty much behind Cook's foot and pushes him. And he falls down, and Trouba's like standing above him like that stupid smirk you get when like, look at what happened to you, you silly goose. Like, oh. I liked it. But there's little things like that I like about Trouba. You know, apart from when he goes on his end-to-end rushes and he's like, I can show you the world. Shiny, shimmer, splendor. His first goal?
He did score a shorthanded goal and an overtime winning goal in the same game.
Did he?
Yeah.
When?
Edmonton.
That was game one?
No. Edmonton
Oh.
here. They scored.
Remember game one last year?
He
Oh my
scored
God, it was
shorthanded,
awesome.
and then Wheeler had that spinorama deke where if he had scored, it would have been probably play of the year on TSN, but he hit the side of the net.
Pretty sure.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
When
that
he,
was
like,
unbelievable.
The spinorama around the defenseman, then he deked out Brizgalov and he backhanded and he hit the post,
yeah.
and then he passed it up front to
Oh,
Trouba.
it was so nice.
If he had scored, it probably would have been goal. It could have been goal of the year.
Yeah, and then he had he missed, so his last resort was to give it to Trouba, and Trouba
was right
just
in front of the
smacked
net.
it in.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I like how you got my very bland description over his detailed description. You're like,
Yeah, because
I
I'm like,
don't
spin
remember that.
move. Well, Wheeler does that a lot. So
Yeah, but this one worked.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that was wicked. I remember. Do you remember?
I remember
last
game
year?
one when
Yeah.
Trouba for they're like, oh, he's got a bit of a mean streak, and 5 minutes later, and for no reason, Taylor Hall was cutting across the ice, and he fucking took a run at him, and he missed him by that much.
And everyone's like, that's dangerous play. And all the Jets fans are like, do it again.
If he had hit him, Taylor Hall probably wouldn't have played again that year. And that was game 1.
Yeah. Well, speaking of game 1, before you get off.
I'm on the box score right now.
Well, game 1, do you remember? Okay, Shifley scored. I think he scored first.
He scored first to make it 1-1.
And then Trouba scored third, I think, or second.
Trouba scored the fourth goal.
Fourth. And I was just like, was that with you guys? No. I know I was with Greg.
Yeah, we were at Smitty's.
Yeah. Anyways, we're eating wings, and they scored, and I'm like, yeah! Trouba's getting 40. Shifley's getting 1,000. This is all year.
And then reality set in.
Reality set in when I think the next. Well,
didn't Trouba score 11 goals?
Okay, we got scored on by Arcobella that game, didn't we? Jesse Noensu?
Gazdick?
Come on.
Well,
yeah,
Gazdick and.
Sorry to the Gazdick
Jesse
family.
Jones.
Yeah, Joensu. Yeah.
Oh, that big dumb Swede.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, all Swedes are dumb. We hate them.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Just kidding.
Toby.
I'm
Don't
just
we
kidding.
like
I was
Tobias?
Swedish on our team.
Yeah, Tobias. And
I just don't like goalies from the Czech Republic. That's just my thing.
so you didn't like? Was it Hasek?
I don't like the current goalie from
Nice. Okay.
Czech Republic.
There's got to be one more in the league.
Yeah,
One Czech Republic.
Polak.
No, he's Slovakian.
Oh, who the hell was on Czech Republic Olympic team with Pavlik?
Some no name that probably plays in the KHL.
And he started the first game over Pavlik. That's embarrassing.
Because even Czech Republic knows that Pavlik's not a starting goalie.
We're probably gonna.
We're just not dumb enough. We're just not smart enough to realize it yet.
We're probably gonna bitch about Pavlik until he gets traded. Every podcast until he is gone. We're probably gonna complain about it.
Unless
I'm totally okay with that.
The only way he'll redeem himself is if he gets to me. He gets 3 shutties in a row.
Not even that. It's just consistency.
No, because in the next game he'll get scored on 10.
If he wins the Vezina, then I'll forgive him.
No, if he can show consistency, game in, game out, that's when I'll start gaining respect for him. It's the inconsistency. He'll play 2 games and look like the top elite goalie that he could be, and then he'll play 2 games like he was Glenn Healy.
So did we just start something?
Glenn Healy at his current age.
Are we going to have an inconsistency tractor with Kane and Pav side by side? Because that's the way we're talking about Pavlik is the exact same way we talk about Kane. Just if you could just show consistency and score 30 goals every game.
It's not even that.
30 goals a game? That'd be great.
First 120
We'd be
goals
Stanley
scored.
Cup champions. We wouldn't even have to play the playoffs.
We wouldn't even need to put Pavlik in net.
Of the year, and then we'd be like, you're awful.
Yeah, we could play with an empty net.
What if we scored 30 goals? Actually,
if Kane scored 30 goals a game.
Yeah, if Kane did, yeah.
What's the most goals we've scored as Winnipeg Jets? 2.0.
9. Philly.
9 in a game.
What's the most we've been scored on?
8. Philly.
Thrashers have led in 10 before.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I just remember that 9-8 game.
Never scored 10, though.
I remember that 9-8 game. I just wanted 10. I wanted 10. That's all I wanted.
I know.
That would have been great.
I don't think I've ever seen a double-digit score.
Well, dude, I did 2 years ago, Philly and Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
Philly, Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
Yeah, Philly dominated them all series, right. But then Pittsburgh won Game 5 10-2.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was stupid. Yeah.
Was it 10-2? I don't think it was double digits.
I'll look it up. It was because it was the first time I actually watched a game that was double digits. I've seen highlights before, but
really, yeah. I'm pretty
sure. Well, in the meantime, while you research, I'll name more signings quick. Rangers Lombardi, 2-year, $1.6 million. Lee Stepnick, 1 year, $900,000. Yes, $300,000 less than Thorburn. I'll leave that there. Wild signed Jason Zucker, 2 years. I'm not sure the money. Jackets, Tim Erickson, 1 year, $600,000. That's what you get for leaving Calgary, Tim. How dare you?
That was rude.
I think you guys would be okay with those.
Yeah. Sharks, Jason Demers, 2 years, $3.4. That's Panthers, Dmitry Kulikov. Guys, I can't speak
What's
today.
What's a pantser?
It's that song by Elton John. Hold me close and dine in bed.
Oh my god.
Cam's drunk, take him home.
Guys, I get it. Okay, Kulikov, even though he said he was going to leave, 3 years, $13 million.
Well, he probably
a little hefty.
Yeah, you probably saw the Dave Bowen contract was like, hey, I can get as much money as
I want that. Apparently all Russians sound like heroes.
Don't worry. When he went to the KHL, I was like, how much money could you give me? And they were like, oh, $12 million. He's like, I can get 13 for the Panthers.
Ha! And they're like, and then he signs a paper. They're like, we've meant he is. We meant he is.
Okay,
Ow!
I'm gonna read you the scores from this series because it's the most random thing. Okay,
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry, this is Philly,
Yeah, you go.
Pittsburgh 2 years ago. Game 1, Philly won 4-3 in overtime.
That was
Game
a good
2, Philly won 8-5.
Right, because Coots had a
Game 3, Philly won 8-4. Game 4, Pittsburgh won 10-3.
Wow.
Game 5,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh won 3-2. Then Game 6, Philly won 5-1.
Yeah, that's when they started putting in. They took out Fleury and was playing what's his name, Vokun, for the rest of that series. Or was
I
it
don't think
Vokun?
they had Vokun at that time.
I thought they had Vokun.
Chad
No, they
Johnson?
definitely didn't. It was not Johnson. It was. I think Vokun played Game 4.
Really?
I think so.
Weird.
Isn't he on their team now?
Vokun?
Yeah.
He was on the Pens.
He signed with
He
someone.
signed with Tampa Bay.
No, that's
No,
Nabokov.
that's
No, Nabokov. No, he hasn't signed with anybody yet.
Come here.
Guys,
How
we've
did
already
we not-
named 2 goalies that the Jets could sign.
Who? Brizgalov and
Brizgalov.
Vokun. I'd be okay with Vokun. I'd totally
Play
be okay
that
with
tandem. That'd be sweet.
Vokun and Brizgalov.
Yeah.
And then where would Pavlik? Pavlik would just sit in the minors.
Just cut the son of a bitch.
Well, we lost the opportunity.
We should have
to buy him
complied.
out.
Not cut, buyout. Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking football.
Okay, I see it all the time on Twitter, and people get antsy as all get up of what everything
Fancy
the
as
Jets
all
true.
get up.
All his
Every-
things is great. I love this.
Fancy is all
Giant
get up?
Panther.
Wow, this
Giant
has
Panther.
got to go
Okay,
down as
but
one of the.
Antsy is all get up.
I don't think
Yeah.
Cam should be allowed to speak for.
No, neither
5
should
minutes.
I. This is rough. About everything the Jets do. Is it good that we have a non-trigger happy GM like a Holmgren, or is it better that we
Hey,
have?
sir.
Or
I'd like.
Would
some-
you rather
Good
have
point. Yeah.
I'd like something in the middle.
like a guy who's gonna make the right moves? So like
He makes moves, but he makes smart moves.
Like
He doesn't just
Lombardi.
sit there and be like, "Nah, we're good."
Lombardi.
Who's for?
That's Dean Lombardi, the guy for the Kings, I believe. Is his
Oh, like
Kings?
when needed, he'll make the move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know if-
Gaborik.
The thing with me is I feel that Chevy is too afraid to make that mistake, but I'm actually really glad that he's not using public pressure to, smack the trigger every time.
He also might have Chipman
And pull the trigger.
Chipman might have him on a leash too. And be like,
that is very
You're
true,
like-
but like he doesn't want to.
Because Chipman's all about image and being professional, and he probably doesn't want to look like he made a mistake or.
Yeah,
And speaking
well,
of
that's
being
exactly-
professional, last year there was an incident where Adam Party was in Chicago, and then a couple weeks later they came back here, and the Twitter fans wanted to start a party,
Helmet
Helmet party.
helmet party, and everyone wears helmets. And because
It
Dan and I
got
went to that
huge.
game,
It got
It
huge
got
on
caught
Twitter.
on. All the TSN sports analysts were like, "That's awesome, do it."
yeah,
Yeah.
and then like the Jets released a statement that day, like day game, saying if you show up with the helmet, you will not be allowed entrance into our arena.
unless you take
Thanks,
the helmet
Chipman.
off.
Thanks, Chipman.
But one
I
that's
understand-
image, and I think there was somebody important at that game. I think the Prime Minister was there.
Harper would have loved it.
Oh yeah, right. There was like
He would
Yeah.
have loved it.
there were guys in like wearing all black and like the roof.
There were cops and snipers in the
It
room,
was
yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, I didn't notice them. It was the scary part
No.
was I didn't see them until like someone pointed them out, and I was like, I've been looking there the whole time. I
Yep.
didn't see them.
Well, you can thank Chipman for not realizing that dream. He probably doesn't.
That
buy
would've
his-
been
He probably
hilarious,
doesn't
though.
even buy his kids Christmas presents.
He hates
It's
puppies.
just how he is.
He hates puppies, obviously. Right?
That would have been hilarious, though. Everybody wearing helmets.
Would have been
That would
great.
be cool. Okay, back
Although
to-
what they should have all done is all put Jet stickers and the number 2 on the
No, you
back.
know what-
and then when we
you know
all
what
get in the
people did?
arena, we should just all fist pump in the air.
You know what people
Like the
did?
guy-
no, because drunk people throw the helmet on the
You,
air.
you know what people did? Because they sell you popcorns in those paper helmets.
Yeah, they put
people
them on.
bought the popcorn and then just wore those.
yeah.
So
Without
Yes,
even
yes, yes.
eating the popcorn.
yeah, no,
They just dumped
the
the.
popcorn was still in it. And they just went. "Ah."
Ah! The butter is so hot! My scalp is burning!
Yep.
What would it take, back to Chevy, what would it take for Chevy, tell us on Twitter, to get fired?
Yeah.
Dan,
Would it
what,
take?
what would it take? Because obviously it's
fired?
not doing anything, because that's...
If
the
they don't
ever.
make the playoffs in the next 2 years, he's gone.
Okay,
How long's his contract?
5,
Is it 5?
I think.
I would be shocked if they re-up him if they don't make the playoffs. The only thing I could see him doing to get fired is in some way tainting the Jets' image. So doing something behind the scenes is awful, but he wouldn't do that.
See, yeah, when you said tainting, I automatically thought of the word lewd, and I'm like, what is he going to post? Like a dick pic? 'Cause that-
Post a picture of him like pissing on the Jets logo. Just
yeah.
What's up?
Um,
This podcast is vulgar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
geez.
vulgar than
wow.
the last
This
couple.
is a bad one.
Cam told us we could swear
We're in
before it
rough-
started. So
Yeah.
it's Cam's fault.
Well, we don't have. We're in
We're
the
in-
dog days of summer.
like,
Yeah.
this is what
We're
happens.
real in the sludge.
We're just trying to crawl through each one and make
Yeah,
sure.
basically.
I think the way it goes is they already fired the coach, so the next step when they have to do something is going to be a major trade like a
A Kane
shake-up.
or
See, that's
Like,
what I was
I-
going to say.
A
Yeah,
Kane,
it has to be-
Kane or a Bufflin or a Lad, and then if that doesn't work, then the GM will.
That's what I was going to say. It would
That's-
be
that's the same
a
way I
bad
feel.
trade.
because they aren't going to fire
Uh,
Maurice before they fire Cheveldayoff.
No.
If it came
And
to that,
they would. Okay, they've moved the coach. Now it's
players.
the players, and you can't keep firing coaches and staff without putting any onus on the players. There needs to be
Oh,
some.
absolutely.
So it's the players now. I think the players in the next thing, if we don't get there, then they will start moving players.
But also with that new coach, a new attitude, we noticed it. Like, hey, they did do really good with Maurice when they first initially got
But
him.
now they know, like, Maurice was gonna set that tone early this year.
Training
He did
camp
that.
apparently is going to be
Be
hard for them,
rough.
which
We
is
should
good.
try
It's
and
what
go
they
watch
need.
training camp. Can
That'd
you
be
watch
sick.
that?
Yeah.
You could last year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's so many people going, but
Yeah.
the way I
Well-
see it though is like, I feel like the reason they aren't doing anything is because in Cheveldayoff and Chipman's mind, Maurice's mind, because they all talk about it. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they think they have what they need.
Yeah.
And they just have to put it together. So
It's the consistency thing.
I can understand why they're not doing much, and I could agree with them to an extent that if they could put together what they have, they'd be fine. Like they wouldn't be cup contenders, but they could be a playoff team, like an 8, 7, or 8.
But that's, I think, the first step. Like, everyone talks about, oh, you want to make the playoffs so you can win the cup. Well, anyone who makes the playoffs has that chance if you go on a run and gel at the right time.
Yeah.
But the thing is just making the playoffs is a huge step because then players are like, that team can make the playoffs, and if you show consistency through the playoffs, make it 2-3 years, you'll be the destination for free agents.
And look, just example,
Like-
Kings. Like maybe 5-6 years ago, they had made the playoffs in a long time. Made the playoffs a couple years in a row, got bounced first round. But then the year after that, they bent the whole league over and
Well, they snuck into the playoffs and then bent the whole league
eighth
over.
seed, and they only lost 4 games to win a Stanley Cup. Then the year after that, conference final. Then the year after that, Stanley Cup again.
Yeah.
So let's just look how they built it up.
And that first
Yeah.
year, they went in as 8 seed, and everyone said, like, they started playing playoff hockey, like, a month left into the season, because they weren't even in a playoff spot.
No,
going
yeah,
into
they
that.
fired their coach, and then I almost thought that's what the Jets were going to do. When we fired our coach, we were going to sneak into the playoffs, but...
Wow, they
Didn't
have
happen.
a bit more talent than we do. But
Well, they have Carter and Richards.
well, yeah, but
Kopitar, Brown,
Gabrick.
Justin Williams.
Williams.
That wasn't Gabrick that year.
No. They had Penner.
And they had Quick playing unbelievable.
Yeah.
They have,
That was his, like...
they have a goal.
But hey, that's all,
Unhuman
I mean,
year.
I don't want to say that's all it takes, because that's a lot for it to get there and take. But if everyone gets hot and, like, buys into the system, that'd be
You could
sweet.
do it.
And the
But yeah.
Winnipeg playoffs. Whoa. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I can't imagine it.
I just don't even want to know.
I asked Cam this the other day.
I'm still waiting to see what happens if we win a Grey Cup. I can't even imagine to see what happens if we make the playoffs.
Grey Cup will be a relief.
It'll just be...
It won't
You'll
be-
just hear a huge exhale.
Yeah,
From everyone
Like, it'll
going,
be a relief as opposed
"Finally."
to Stanley Cup does
be
playoffs.
like if
Even
you were
if we
const-
lose every game, it'll be like playoffs. Yeah, playoff. Woo!
When the Bombers
You
win
will
a
have
Grey Cup,
people-
it'll be like if you were constipated for like 20 years, and then all of a sudden it's just the floodgates open. It
feels good.
The relief just.
And
And
you know
then,
what,
you
we're
know,
not
all
gonna-
your friends who are Saskatchewan Roughfire fans, you can just go in their face and get up in
But
there.
I'll be
and-
happy for the Bomber fans too, because hey, I live in this city, so like I know.
He crap talks them 364 days a year, but if they win the Grey Cup, he'll be a fan for that day.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing the Riders.
Oh, okay.
That's impossible.
well,
well,
then-
it's not impossible. They can cross over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, but I was gonna say, if just to the Bombers, if they win, Bomber fans probably won't riot their city, but there are going to be a lot of children born 9 months from then. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. A lot of kids born in July that year in Winnipeg. There'll be a
Nice.
mini baby boom
So, like, July... late
Roughly
July, early
now.
August. Roughly now.
right now.
Roughly now.
You guys remember that scene in Semi-Pro when they win the game and then everyone riots and then they like flip the cop car over and it's
Yeah.
the cops that
Yeah.
are underneath it? I feel like if the Jets ever win a Stanley Cup, that's what Winnipeg will be like.
If the
Well,
Jets
what
win the
were
Stanley
the-
Cup,
I know we weren't alive for it, but what were Avco Cups like when we won? They must have been somewhat
if
like
there's
good parties.
listeners, comment or tweet at us or anything. Let us know. I'll ask my dad. I
Yeah,
don't
ask
know if
my
he was
dad.
old. If he
My
was
dad was
alive.
old.
I don't know about that.
My dad
I
was-
don't know if my dad was old. I meant to say if he was like.
My dad was
alive and
18.
Yeah.
I think when
The
so-
Jets went to the NHL.
my
My
dad
was
was
born in-
my dad was my dad was only
What year was your dad born in? Mine,
56.
59.
Yeah.
So
The memory that my dad the one he always talks to me about the Jets is he said one year, because we used to be in the division with Edmonton when they were the dynasty,
Calgary.
and apparently
Calgary
we used to play Edmonton almost every
Yeah.
year in the playoffs, and they'd beat us.
Mhm.
He said one year we played them, Jets were up 3-1. He went to Hawaii. When he came back, they had lost.
Yeah.
And
On
then
that
he-
note,
and
on
then-
that note,
and then I think Edmonton went on to win the cup that year. So
on that note,
I mean,
you heard your dad's favorite memory. What's your guys' favorite memory of the Jets so far? Can be 2.0 or 1.0.
Timu
Up to you
Solani's
guys.
first game back in just the atmosphere.
First
The
game,
game was fine. The Jets won, but just the atmosphere was. I've never been to a place where 'cause we always boo the star player. That's the Jets thing. But literally, if Timu's line was on the ice, every pass to a player that wasn't Timu, we'd boo. They passed to Timu. Everyone started cheering. He'd pass it back. Everyone started booing. That was,
it was like, I was at that game. It was like a son coming home. Like,
Yeah.
A whole city came. Like, we didn't care if we won or lost that game. Like, that game didn't matter to Winnipeg. It was the fact that Timu came back.
It would have been, and
We're
that
getting
was, I
goosebumps
think,
talking about it.
honestly, that was, I think, everyone's kind of moment where they're like, Jets are back. This is the way it feels like.
Yeah.
Because you had pretty much one of the, best all-time Jets.
that was the moment when I realized we had the best fans in the NHL.
Oh, I don't know.
No, yeah, you know what? I'm with Dan on that.
Okay.
Because that was year 2.
Like
That was year 1.
that was year 1.
December 17th.
At first,
Year
first I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. But that I was like, okay, no, Jets have the best fans.
Yeah, it was. I remember watching it on TV, and just seeing him in Winnipeg was just brought a smile to my face. I still have a movie of him.
I don't know if they
in his
showed it on
year.
TV, but he was the third star of the game.
Yeah,
and he came out and did a lap and
yeah,
he
and then
was like-
clapped
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah,
Yeah, the lady
and he
sitting-
gave all his extra sticks to people in the crowd after the game.
And there
I
were
heard-
riots. I saw that because some dude got whacked
Yes.
right in the face.
Oh, really?
He was across from me, and I'm like, Timu, you should point at someone before you throw sticks. Because Winnipeg said, no, it's mine. He's like, I'm giving it to my son who has cancer. And he's like, fuck you. He's just right in the face. Maybe not. Maybe
Side
not.
note, do you remember that game last year? I think it was last year. I think Buff was the first star, and they always do the thing where they throw the stick in the crowd, first star. And I think he went to give it to a kid, and some guy dove over 3 rows and grabbed it,
God, I hate
and
people
was
that do
there,
that.
and Buffalo tapped on the glass, and he's like, give it to the kid.
yeah. I hate people like that.
Like, how much of an
I hate
asshole do
people-
you have to be? Come on.
I want it more than you.
What are you going to do
I'm
with it?
bigger
You're
than
not
you.
using it. You're going to put it on your wall and never touch it. This kid will be like, I got Bufflin stick. All hail Bufflin Jesus. Like,
Hail
Yeah.
Buffalo
okay,
Jesus.
mine was a Timu game. The lady sitting beside me had a sign like, welcome home, Timu. She was crying like the whole game. Like, well, the first time Timu walked
Half the
out,
arena was crying.
Oh.
the first time Timu walked
Timu
out, she was
was
like,
crying.
there he is! He was my first crush!
Dude,
Like, it was weird, but it was funny.
That's hilarious.
If you watched before the game, because before they did the national anthems, it was too loud for anyone to do it. They were Timu stood up and he was like tears.
Yeah, it was
on
like,
the bench.
everyone was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Timu, Timu,
Yeah.
Timu. It was sick.
Yeah, that's. I wish I'd gone to that.
Because I remember memories of my dad telling me how good Timu Solani is. Because Jets 1.0, my favorite memories, I don't know. I guess I was born during it, so that's it.
Yeah.
Because I don't really remember it.
I can't
remember
really
seeing
say.
a Flames game vaguely. Just the
I
team
remember
with red
going
jerseys.
to an original Jets game, but I was too young. I don't
Yeah, me
remember.
too.
I remember going to the original Jets game. I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
I loved going to games at the Winnipeg Arena. It was awesome.
Really?
That thing was a shithole.
I
Yeah,
loved
I'm
that
totally
place.
with Dan on this. And
I
that
loved
is a
going
hunk
there.
OG.
Oh, not saying it was. It was just a fun place to go. Every time I went there, I had fun.
Side note, my favorite Winnipeg Arena moment was the last Moose game when they had the big. It was the year the lockout was on, and they had
And the big lines.
they had the big ceremony like Timu
Yeah.
came and Eddie Olchuk and
Yeah,
that was crazy.
I was there for
Yeah,
that.
that
They
was
were playing
awesome.
Phoenix's farm team
Were they?
at the time.
And it went to a
I'm trying to
shootout
think.
too, so it was like the perfect game.
I'm trying to think who it was. Because
What
they were
game
wearing
was this
burgundy.
again?
The last Moose game in the
Old
old arena.
arena.
It was like
October 30th, 2005.
it was like a month into the season because the MTS Center opened in November.
Yeah.
All right, because
That
it was
day.
like a Harlequin concert for free when they opened it.
That was.
I remember that.
And
I
then
didn't go, but
and then Nolan Baumgartner scored the first goal in the MTS Center.
There you go.
I remember
look at that. I love how we remember the
First
first
I was
Jets
there.
2.0 goal. Go.
Paul
First who?
Postma.
Antropov.
No.
Antropov.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you,
Sorry.
sir?
No, I thought you meant preseason too. Because Postman scored the first.
Oh,
Was it
wow.
He scored the first preseason goal.
Oh, okay, I thought it was Shifley.
Postman did.
No, I meant like the regular season.
Do you guys
Antropov.
remember
I
the first game back, like the first exhibition game, Columbus, like first 5 seconds, Buff beat the
Matt
crap
Calvert.
out of someone.
Yeah, Matt Calvert, he just decked him.
And
That was
then
hilarious.
everyone lost their shit, and then when Buff skated in the penalty box, he was just like looking around, nodding his head, like, yep.
This is how we do. This is how we do.
He's like, I can get used to this. I can get used to this.
It's funny because
The best part was him and Stewart, like, immediately, they're like, we're not even going to play hockey for a shift, we're just going to fight. Because they both went after two guys right away.
Yeah.
I guess my moment for 2.0, either both the Washington game, year one, when we were chirping that Crosby's better to Ovi was great,
Remember when?
or
Yeah,
the silver medal with Buffalo.
Miller, that game, so many memories. Wheeler bar down, Thorburn toe drag, Pierre McGuire's first game in Winnipeg.
Do you remember
I just
when was that Carolina?
okay.
I don't know how I even got on Carolina.
Yeah, just
Oh,
just, you know,
the chant. Jordan's better.
Yeah, that was
with the arrow.
brutal.
It kind of got bad.
Yeah.
Year 2, when Pittsburgh came back, the chant was Mario's pool boy.
Yeah,
I didn't
heard
hear
about
that one because that was lower. Like lower bowl, they never got the good chance. It's always up top.
Up top's the way to go.
That's
if you
where
want
the
to
bee's
dance it.
knees.
It's
That's
because
that.
it's for all the young people who can't afford really good tickets are they just get pissed drunk every game.
Just
The
have
red
like,
bloods.
Yeah.
The unwashed.
Yeah, red blood.
I'm not down with the blue bloods.
No.
I don't feel safe with the blue bloods. He can't talk. He can't
It's so-
swear.
it's
God
so late.
forbid.
Yeah.
He can't say what I just said.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Well,
they're like, security! I'm eating a hot dog! It has mustard on it! How dare you, you filthy animal.
Watch it, you're
What?
gonna spill on the floor.
Don't you do it. Yeah.
It's almost funny.
You
'cause,
take
like,
your wrapper to the garbage, you don't go under the seat when you're done.
It's almost more enjoyable sitting upper deck too, not only for the chance, but just in general. The hockey knowledge is a bit better up there than
And
it is
all-
down
because
there.
there's no
All-
schmoozing down
Yeah.
below. It's all like up top and no schmoozing. We're here for the game.
Yeah.
Or like
It's also better because all the noise travels up.
Oh,
It's so
it's
much
so
louder
awesome.
up there.
yeah, and the
love
Wheeler.
it. I love
There's
it.
this guy in Dan's section that he has a visceral hate. I dislike Wheeler for streaks, but this guy has a visceral hate for Blake. For everything he does, he's like, "Hey Wheeler, you don't skate real good, real bad."
No, but like
And then like he's an Olympian, so
he
he's
could be on
bad.
the ice, he could have like a shift where he almost scores twice, and then he'll make a pass that it's too far ahead, and he'll be like, "Come on, Wheeler, what the hell was that?"
It's
Yep.
ridiculous.
He's one of those guys. He gets a
I
little
hate
annoying
those
after a
guys.
while. It's like, hey, it's fine if you don't like the guy, but everything he does,
Everything.
why don't you shit on fucking Eric Tangradi for being terrible?
We're getting a banned. Like whatever we go on, we're getting Shanna banned for this.
This is like the podcast.
Dan
Just-
doesn't like Eric Tangradi. Let's get into this. Why don't you like Eric Tangradi?
Just he's useless.
Okay, first off,
He's
he
meant
does
to be-
great interviews.
He's meant to be a fourth liner. Doesn't hit. Doesn't fight. Well, he tries to fight. Tries to hit. I just don't think.
that's so funny.
I don't see the. I just think they could do so much
I
better.
think he'll be the spare guy. Hopefully, Scotty Cosmo.
and they put him on the second line when guys get hurt. It's like, why?
It's like putting Thorburn up there. They use Thorburn for a bit of up
Like
top too.
put a guy that has some potential. Like I mean,
Odell, Cosmic
Odell, even Peluso. He has skill that he doesn't get to use. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, apparently he's the best shootout guy on the team in practice.
Well,
I mean-
it'll be interesting to see the way that Maurice builds this team over
A whole
the
season.
training camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he'll mold it the way he wants it. So, clearly, if they didn't make a ton of off-season moves, then he's got what he wants there
I think
for a winning team. Because he has had success as a coach.
He's
So,
been to the final.
yeah,
How many times have you played division rivals? 6?
5.
Five?
4 or 5. I
4 or
think.
5.
Some of them you play 4, some of them you play 5.
Yeah.
Because it's an odd number.
So
Yes.
realistically, all we have to do, I mean, per se, to at least stay afloat in our division is win half the games. Like
You can
just
win. Which,
Split
yeah.
the series.
split
Have
the
a-
series.
The thing you have to do, have a really good home record like the Jets did first year, and then have a slightly above 500 road record, or even 500. If you do that, you're playoffs.
So you play 41 home games?
41 each. So
41
if,
each.
if
So yeah, so if you can win like
25 to
25 to 30 at home
30
with
at
like
home,
5
and then like 15
5
on the
overtime
road,
losses.
you're
Yeah.
probably playoffs.
Not 15 on the road.
Wow.
You need
Okay.
about
18, 17.
yeah, with some
18.
overtime losses thrown in
Yeah,
there as well.
yeah.
So.
You're you're probably playoffs.
Okay, you
Yeah,
said
I
season
agree.
1 we had a good home record, but we also know why we had a good home record because we were at
Crowd.
I wouldn't even say crowd. I would say we were the second team on back-to-backs a lot
Yeah.
because Minnesota and teams because of that played their backup goalie against us. And then when we realized, hey, we're not like the worst. We're not like Buffalo bad.
No.
We can put the puck in the net.
Yeah.
But I still
We
think
have a guy that scores more than 36 points or whatever.
that's Florida.
Buffalo was pretty bad too.
Same with New York. They only had Matt Zuccarello had 49 points last year.
That's pretty bad.
Really?
We had
49 points.
We had 4 guys that were higher than that. That is pretty
Yeah.
How
bad.
many playoffs? How'd that happen?
They have Henrik Lundqvist in
Lundqvist.
that. A goalie can make that much of a difference.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So bring it way back around. If Pecorini played unreal,
For Nashville?
would we be last place in our division?
Yes.
Like
For
I
Nashville.
have Winnipeg
If he stood on
finishing last
his head.
in our
This-
division.
Sorry, Buffalo's leading scorer last year was Cody Hodgson with 44 points.
Wow.
How fast did Crosby get 40?
Winnipeg
23 games.
Winnipeg Jets. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read guys that had more than that. Blake Wheeler
Okay.
69, Brian Little 64, Bufflin 56, Ladd 54, Jokinen 43. So we had 4 guys with more than
At
that.
43. That's not even that bad.
That's a silent.
Frolik had 42, Kane had
That was a
41.
very-
Frolik had 42 and Kane had how many?
41.
But
Get on
Kane-
a Chevy, sign Frolik. I need my jersey.
Kane played 20
Yeah,
last game.
that needs to happen.
Well,
We need
arbitration's
Frolik,
when
Navidad.
25th or 31st.
We need Frolik Navidad back now.
Okay, Florida's leading scorer had 38 points.
Yes, Bukestad.
Nick Bukestad.
Was
So let's
it
go back to
he?
the Jets again.
Wasn't he?
No,
No, it's
no,
okay.
we're
It's
having
okay,
fun
it's
with
okay.
this.
No, we already
it's
know
okay.
we have
We've gone
better
through it.
scores.
We've gone through it. You can do
We
it for
had
your own
7
entertainment.
guys that had more points than the Florida's leading scorer. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
gonna leave it at
Florida
that.
picked, what, first overall this year, so what does it matter?
I'm just saying.
They finished
What?
second last.
Like, what point are you making right now?
That
We have more scorers than the worst teams in the league? Yeah, we should.
That we could be,
I'd hope so.
That we could be that bad.
We could be that bad.
We're not, like, I don't know why we want to be that bad.
No, I'm just saying we're not that bad. We should be thankful we're not that bad.
I don't even know
We're
how we
stuck-
got here.
We're stuck in the middle right
We're just
now.
making fun of other teams that do bad.
Yeah, well,
It's
we should.
entertaining.
Both those teams have better goalies than us.
That's true.
Well,
Roberto
yeah,
Luongo.
I was like, hey, Flo, wait. Luongo.
Who does Buffalo have? They don't have anybody.
Matt Hackett, Jonas Enroth. I'd take both of them over Rick.
Whoa.
I would take
What?
both of them over
What?
Pavlik.
What? Come on.
Yes, I would.
I would.
No, I take
Dan?
Pavlik. I take Pavlik.
I wouldn't.
Because Pavlik will get you that first pick overall way
Well-
faster. Exactly.
That's if Pavlik can go this summer without getting a DUI.
Hey, he didn't have
Wow.
one last year. That was
Wow,
2 years
real
ago.
supportive
Yeah.
fan.
Consistency. That's all I ask
First off,
for.
it's Alki Pavaholic.
Okay.
Okay. OG Pavs, the OG. Okay.
All I ask for is consistency. If he can prove to me he's consistent,
There's
I'll
also some
buy.
games where the Jets just plain gave up last
No,
year.
I
And the
know, I
Noel regime.
I know, but
The excuse the
Consistency.
Jets are using, though, is, well, if we have better team defense in front of him, he'll be fine. Our defense isn't that bad. Like, it's not great, but it's not like, that bad.
Well,
No.
I'd love to see like the Maurice what system he sets up in place because a lot of the time last year when we gave up pucks like just off the breakout, it's because the forwards weren't
Yeah.
really there, and like
That was
you can't
Noel,
have stretch passes up the middle or anything like that.
No.
I.e., it was funny how you named like the first goal in like Postma, and then we remember Antropov.
Yeah.
What also happened that game before Antropov? Who gave a beautiful just pizza right up the
Johnny O.
yeah.
Johnny O, and like literally ever since that moment, like people kind of
very
like
critical,
Johnny O,
though.
but then we're like nope. And even like
We're-
now,
we're-
would you want Johnny O to come back?
No, we have a defense right now.
I know, I'm just saying, yeah.
If we had a hole to fill on defense, I would take him. We don't
No.
have a hole, though.
People are
No,
like
we don't have one.
almost every game I go to, I
People
still
still
hear
talk
about,
about
like,
that?
oh, don't be Oduya.
I remember that day. I remember the day.
Yeah, well, he's
After
yeah,
year 11th?
well, he's
3 years
laughing
ago.
now because he won a Stanley Cup. So
Yeah, he did.
That's true, he did. It was really good.
Good for him, and he has a silver medal.
that is true. Was he on the Olympic team this year?
Yeah.
Oh, with Sweden?
It's Sweden.
Sweden.
Sweden. Okay.
Although I don't know, I would sooner give the medal to Finland because they put up a better fight than Sweden did.
That's true. Okay,
I like Finland
there's
better.
one last signing, and then we could do closing words, I guess. Do you want to talk about your Leaf signings there, Greg?
Who the heck
Who'd
did
they sign?
Carter Ashton.
Carter Asher 1 year 2.850, and Peter Holland
Holland.
2 year 1.45.
Great deal. Oh my god. I
Where
love
does he
Peter
slot
Holland.
in?
Well, he'll probably
Third
okay.
line
So
center?
yeah, because they got Kadri and they have Bozak, and then they'll have him there or Willie. Willie will be somewhere. They're
Willie's
saying
a
that he's,
winger.
Nylander, really?
Willie's a wing.
but he'll play with Holland next year probably.
Really?
They're gonna put him on.
You
Unless
really
they-
can do it?
They're trying to move Lupul right now. Apparently, Lupul or Van Riemsdyk is going to get moved, and they're going to try to bring Willie in one of those two spots. Otherwise, they'll play him with Holland on the. Third
I would
line.
move Lupul before Van.
But
Riemsdyk.
apparently,
Yeah, Jake
like for
Easy.
anyone who knows Leaf hockey, they they have the most useless players in the world in Colton Orr and Fraser McLaren. No offense to any of you guys are still way better hockey than I'll ever be. But those guys are not NHL caliber guys, and they're just trying to be big and tough, which is just not the way you need to do it. So by signing a guy like Carter Ashton, he's going to play fourth line, but they're going to be a little bit smaller, a little bit like less mean, but it actually means that they might be able to play 4 lines for 10 minutes a game. Because last year, I think there were several games where both Colton Orr and Fraser McLaren had around a minute and a half, which hurts your team.
Random question: was Carter Ashton the guy that got knocked out last year and he gets stretched off the ice in a fight?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. I don't watch all the Leaf games. They just depress me.
I just remember someone. Oh, maybe
It just-
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Like, I think Toronto's on a different level. Like, I think Toronto's better than Winnipeg, so I expect them to win a lot more games, and they just crush me all the time because they
Because
just
the
don't.
Jets finished higher than they do.
Yeah, they did. Actually,
they?
you're right. Yeah,
Jets were the third,
There's more
third best
talent-
Canadian team.
yeah, they were.
So Toronto was the,
8th,
Toronto tied with us, but we had more wins or something.
something like that.
So that's why they picked right before us.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I would love to see Willie Nylander play with Peter Holland because I loved that deal when they brought Peter Holland in because they had lost Bozak and Boland at that point, and he's a way better option on third line than Boland is.
Who's the fourth line?
Fourth line was Jay McClement, and now they don't really
Oh,
have
probably
anyone.
Carter Ashton because he was
Probably.
doing really good in the AHL.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
So you think
That's
Willie
that.
will make the team? Or would you
I
like
would
him?
love to see him. I'd love to see King Joffrey make the team.
King Joffrey or young Leo?
Then, if you look at Willie Nylander, compare him to Leonardo DiCaprio, and then compare him to Joffrey from
King
Game
of Thrones.
King of Thrones.
King
yeah.
of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
King of Queens. Game
Holy
of Thrones.
Thrones.
Game of Queens.
We are
Yep.
last
go.
thing. Okay,
Yeah,
there
yeah,
was
go.
a few articles I found this week of the worst free agent signings and the best. Do you guys want me to list them off?
Yeah, go.
From the salary cap era.
Okay.
This is, by the way, done by Down Goes Brown on Twitter.
Okay.
Hilarious. Okay. 2005, best Scott Niedermayer Mighty Ducks, $27 million over 4 years.
Yep.
That was.
That was good.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's
Okay.
a good one. The worst that year, done by the Devils, and they have a couple in here. Alexander McGinley and Vladimir Malakhov. $7 million for McGinley over 2 years. 7.2 over 2 years for Malakhov. And
Okay.
both of them left for the KHL
All right.
after that.
Nobody wants to play in Jersey. Yeah?
But this wasn't even bad yet. Don't worry.
Of course.
Zdeno Chara, 37 million or 37.5 over 5 years. He was a free agent because Ottawa chose to keep Redden over Chara.
Is this 2005 still? Or
This is 2006 now.
6?
Okay.
How ridiculous is that? I know, like, you don't have the foresight to see that Redden wouldn't turn into be a great player, or the player that Chara is. But how can you give up a guy that's 6'9" and just let him walk to free agency and pick a guy who isn't? That's just.
Maybe
Boston thanks you.
maybe he didn't want to stay.
Ed Jovanovski, worst, $32.5 million over 5 years for Jovanovski. So that's.
Who'd he sign with?
That was Coyotes.
Right.
Best in 2007, Brian Rafalski, $30 million over 5 years.
Where?
He helped them win a cup with the Wings.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's good.
Then Scott Gomez's contract, 51.15,
That was the worst.
worst over 7
That was the
years.
worst possibly ever.
No, don't worry, it gets worse than that.
Oh, jeez.
So that's 51 million. This, and he's like, not only that, there's the Flyer, that year had the Flyers 8 years, $6.5 million cap hit with Danny Briere. The Chris Jury 5 years worth $7 million a season with New York. There was, Sheldon Surrey, Michael Nylander, and Jason Blake all had bad contracts that year as well.
Okay.
And that is just the start of how bad it actually gets.
Okay.
Okay.
Marian Hossa, 1 year, $7.45 million with the Red Wings. Once again, this was another signing by the Red Wings,
This
which
was
good.
best?
This was good. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is 2 years in a row they had
Yeah.
a good signing. Even though they didn't end up winning that year.
They lost in the final.
They lost the year before they won, though.
Yeah.
Wade Redden, Rangers, $39 million over 6 years was the worst. I already talked about how bad he was.
He
Good
sucks.
for him though that he came back. The other people signed that year defenseman-wise were Brian Campbell's $57 million deal, Jeff Finger's debacle, Sean Avery's stint with the Stars, but there was also Ron Hainsey signing that year as well.
Thrashers?
Yeah.
That was a bad one.
He was $5
It's not
million
a bad. It's not a bad one. It was just
Notable.
yeah.
Okay.
Best for the Rangers was Marion Gaborik, 37.5 over 5 years.
So year ago, 2010?
This is 2010 now. Oh, 29.
Okay.
And then the worst was Marion Hossa's deal with the Blackhawks. The reason he says this here is because he's making a ton of money now, and he's playing into like his 40s with the contract.
Yeah.
And
He's not as
making
good
too
as he
much
was when they won the cup.
Yeah,
4
he'll
years
be
ago.
42.
He's down. He's declined quite a bit.
money. I just like his.
He's
note
not
here.
as good since he got 100 points in Atlanta.
Hawks fans could argue this one can't be considered a bad contract because Chicago won 2 cups in its first 4 years. But the deal goes until 2021, at which point Hossa will be 42, and so comically front-loaded, the cap recapture penalties are potentially huge, so they're going to get dinged. The other notable one for that year was Mike Komisarek, which I know was awful. 2010, the year of the ridiculous Ilya Kovalchuk contract, which does not qualify for this list because it's a re-signing. Best, Dan Hamhuis, $27 million, 6 years.
Yep,
That's a good one.
that's a good one.
The worst was
Oh,
Devils
fun
again.
fact about Dan
Yeah,
Hamhuis.
okay, go ahead. Oh yeah.
I'm not going to say where I work, but it's a sports retail place.
You don't
He
want
is
to plug
the-
your store? On
No.
the podcast?
No. Anyways, he's the only Canadian Olympic roster for men's that did not have a jersey ordered or customized whatsoever. Not
No one got a Dan Hamhuis jersey.
Not one.
No one
person.
wanted a Dan Hamhuis jersey.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, worst was Anton Volchenko of 25.5 over 6 years.
With who?
That was with the Devils. That's another worst for the Devils. And that was
Okay.
the same year they signed Kovalchuk. They signed Volchenko
Okay.
to that deal. 2011, he says pass for best. There was no good one.
Okay.
Worst was Ville Lano's $27 million deal with Buffalo for 6 years.
Yeah, that was about him.
That's a really
He
bad
didn't
one.
score last year. He got
Yeah.
blown out, so
He didn't score?
not a goal.
How many games did he play?
50 or 60?
This is
Billy
how he
Lano didn't score a
introduces.
goal.
What?
Not one goal last year.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah. He's pretty bad.
Didn't score a goal.
not
Nope.
one goal.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Peluso scored 2 goals.
You know?
Yeah, well, hey, we have Palouse. They have
Jesus.
no one now.
Yeah, don't worry. We had more point scorers than we did. We already found that one out.
Yeah.
This is just how he starts 2011. He's like, Brad Richards at $60 million, Ville Lano at $27 million, Ilya Bryzgalov is $51 million. We're now solidly into, maybe the smart move is just sit out free agency every year territory.
Yeah.
One thing I'm glad is there's no NHL Jet signed on this, which is good, means that we don't really overpay or make a good deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, the worst one was Ville Lano, which is just comical.
Yeah.
Because he was not worth that money.
No.
Pierre Parenteau Avalanche, $16 million over 4 years, or best, so $4.4 million
Yep.
a year. And then he's saying worst was the Suter Parise, $98 million over 13 years each. Like, that is ridiculous for both of them.
It's a monster contract, but I mean, it's already worked out in terms of playoffs.
It hasn't
It
worked
has
out
worked
at all.
out.
They
Yeah,
should-
they did make playoffs for like 6 years.
Yeah, but
and
so
then
it's
they
still-
haven't
So
missed.
if we went out and signed 2 guys for $13 million a piece and we made the playoffs and got bounced first
Okay.
round, would that be okay?
Who was
No.
available this year?
They
Like,
did
who
get
are the
that
name?
first round.
Who are
They
the
made
okay?
second round this year.
What?
They made second round.
Yeah, you're right, because he beat Avalanche. Okay, let's say we went out and signed Matt Molson, and who is the big defensive free agent this year?
Hold on.
I wouldn't put Matt
For
Molson.
Ryan Suter.
No,
I
I'm
wouldn't
not
put
saying-
Molson and
Yeah,
Parise
yeah,
in
I'm
the
not
same-
putting them in the same
Okay,
thing,
fine,
but
go,
I'm saying
sorry.
it'd be similar to that.
Mm.
Would you ever want to sign a player for 13 years? Means he's stuck on your team, and it's a tough.
No,
it's
you
a
guys
tough
already know where I
contract.
stand. I'd say 5 is the most
Yeah.
I'm comfortable
It's
signing
so
anyone.
hard
And
to
that's
move contracts like
5
that.
years is what the Jets do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's max.
Wow, they did. Wheeler was 6.
Wheeler and Bogo
was 6.
7.
Bogo was 7. Which
Either way,
I
but-
feel like Bogo's got a low enough money that it's not going to be hard to move him if we have to move him. in the
Yeah.
future.
The
Yeah.
tough thing with Bogo though is he really wanted to be here, so he might not accept a trade.
Okay, now
Should
we'll go 2013.
Okay, perfect.
Could you guess who the worst is
Last year,
last year?
who were the signings last year?
I know what it is because Greg's being bitter about it. David
I-
Clarkson.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
The note at the bottom just says, "I don't want to talk about it."
11 points. Love it.
He's just
He had elbow
Thorburn
problems.
had 11
Yeah.
points. I'm
He had
pretty
elbow
sure.
issues too, though.
Oh yeah, okay.
But still, that's a either way. Even if he was healthy,
it's a
that's
tough
bad.
contract. That's
Okay.
a bad one. Best he's saying is the Blues with Stasny. He likes that contract.
That
I
was
think it's
this
going to
year.
pay dividends. Yeah,
Oh, and
I'm
he's-
into this year.
Oh, nothing.
And then worst. If you had to pick
$7
the
million
worst,
a year though. Ooh.
if you had to pick the worst free agency this year, who would you
I
pick?
didn't-
Dave Bolin.
Yep.
Or Brooks Orpik.
That's exactly who we picked.
Who's that?
Dave Boland.
I will. Okay.
$5.5 million for a third liner. Come on.
I'll read off what he
Okay.
said.
Excuse me for a sec.
Do you have a demon in you? Or
Yeah,
what?
there's a TV. You're just Dayton saying it's Dave Boland. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm coming for you. Okay, back to the Philly Lena one. They got a new owner and they had to hit the cap floor, and he was like
Yeah.
money hungry. Like that's when they signed Ehrhoff, I think,
A lot of money.
and
Yeah.
Myers.
Did
Yeah.
Leno
So they-
go anywhere?
He's still in Buffalo.
Did
I
that?
thought.
No, they bought him
They
up.
bought him up.
Oh, they bought him out.
He hasn't signed anybody, right?
Not that I know of yet.
No, I don't.
Well, how
want
much
him
would
here.
you pay a guy who didn't score a goal?
No,
He's
I'm-
a forward.
No, I'm
Oh,
just
no,
curious.
not Adam Party.
I'm just
Guys,
curious.
guys.
Yeah, no.
We'd probably give him 1.9 million because that's what the Jets do. We overpay for mediocre talent. We'll never
Yeah.
overpay for a high-end talent. We'll pay
Yeah.
for
We're
overpay
too
for
cheap to
mediocre.
pay for high-end talent.
Okay, so anyways,
We have
Buffalo
the
was
money,
money
though.
hungry. They're like, oh, you want money? Here's double of what you should ever get.
So it's the Panthers.
and then
this
the
year.
Panthers this year, same thing.
Yeah.
They're not a new owner, I don't think, but I know they had to hit the cap floor and they were willing. So
While we're on the subject of the Panthers, just quickly, there was an article on the Score the other day that apparently, because I think the Panthers they're trying to sell the Panthers, the owners.
okay,
They've brought people in to explore the possibility of them getting, or I think they're trying to reduce the rent they have to pay to the arena because they pay like $80 million a year to play there, or no, something stupid.
okay.
They have an $80 million contract to play at the arena, not a year,
Oh, okay.
but total, and they're trying to get it knocked down because they don't make any money. But apparently they brought people in to explore the possibility of them moving, like out of Florida, like selling it to someone who will move the team.
Wait, they're in Metro, or they're in Pacific?
They're in Metro.
They're in the Metro.
No. They are in.
They're in Pacific. Do they play
They are not in Pacific.
Pacific or
They're being in Atlantic.
Atlantic? Sorry, yeah, I'm getting my oceans mixed
Come
up.
on.
Okay, they're in Atlantic.
Yeah. Yes, they could
So
go to Quebec, and that would,
That's the first thing I thought of.
yeah, Quebec or
Ooh.
GTA. That's probably what he wants, and then
Hey,
Columbus.
Quebec, they already have a guy they can love on that team. Ubaldo! None of that, Ubaldo! Oh my!
That team, I would not want that franchise. It's like when they were rumored for us getting the Coyotes. I
Okay,
did not
at the
want the
time,
Coyotes.
wind back. At the time, even Florida, I'll wait for your crunchies. Would you have taken Atlanta, Phoenix, or Florida when the Jets were acquired? With the current, like they're like not the roster today, but like at that time,
Atlanta.
Wow.
I would take Phoenix.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
I just like the more. I don't know.
I like the fact that there was actually prospects on Atlanta.
Thrashers had more
I
potential.
was excited about Burmistrov.
Phoenix was better at the time, but Atlanta had more potential in their team.
Yeah.
And
I'd
yeah, it
still
would've
every
been-
time someone asks me that, I would take Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah.
Even more
Like I'm
than they are
happy
right
about
now?
it now. No, I'm happy about
But
it
like,
now.
here's the thing. Either way, that Phoenix team wouldn't have performed the same way because we would have changed coaching, management, and all that, regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that we might have not had a playoff team.
Yeah.
And
Are we
plus-
missing any more signings there? Or is that it?
No, that was what I wanted to bring up because I thought it was funny. It was a good article. I always read his stuff; it's always hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, he's awesome. All right. Any closing words, Greg?
Thank you for sitting through this debacle. This was
Yeah.
almost
Sorry.
as bad as this week's Bomber game.
Sorry about the
Um,
language.
No, I don't apologize for it.
We're Bomber fans.
Yeah, we're allowed to.
Bomber fans. We're Jets fans as well.
Yeah. No.
Two of you are Bomber fans. One of you did not.
No. I'll close. I'll stop talking after I say this.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, they won't.
I can't promise.
They won't.
Sorry that's a little later this week. We're filming on Sunday because of other life got in the way.
Greg
Yeah.
got
Maybe on
pissed,
Friday.
snorting, drunk on Friday and couldn't do it.
Yeah, and he got belligerent. He showed up at Dan's house and he like peed all over his car. It was weird.
That didn't
God,
happen
weird.
at all. That was
It did.
that's a lie.
Fact and science.
It's not fact at
is-
all.
It's
That's not
science.
factual.
Scientifically proven. You peed on my car.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Look, even Rick Grimes agrees.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, sorry. Go.
And then next week we might be uploading a little earlier. Is
Yeah.
that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
he looks like he just grew.
we're gonna have
Yeah.
one for you guys. I believe this is gonna go up on Monday.
No, tonight.
It'll go up tonight.
Mhm.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're not gonna fall asleep.
No, I'll go home and do it right away.
You sure?
He just woke up. It's 4. It's
He's
5
gonna
o'clock.
he's
He's
gonna
been up for
fall
2
back
hours.
asleep. I know he will.
No, I won't. If
He
it
was
goes
falling
up-
asleep at Kevin's last night.
I was sleeping.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you
I
fell
wasn't
asleep.
falling asleep. I was sleeping. It was a thing.
That actually happened. Yeah. So these are going to be 2 quick turnaround podcasts, and then
episodes.
back to the regular schedule in a couple weeks.
Please, Jets,
Oh
do
wait, are
something
you
so we
guys?
can talk about it.
Yeah.
Are you guys going away for
I will be.
August long weekend?
Yes.
Where are you going?
For not Edmonton, just like 2 hours outside of Edmonton.
Okay, so Cam, do you
So
want?
Greg's gonna feel like Greg. Dan's gonna feel like, you know what? You might, when you come back to Winnipeg, he's gonna have a new outlook on the Jets, because he's gonna go to Edmonton to smell like it smells like poop there. I heard. Like they're just full
It's
of
the city
losers.
of champions.
Guys, let's take the best guy available. We have like 10 wingers and small forwards. We don't need them. Take him anyways. Look at his shootout moves. Look at him.
We can worry about it in 3 years.
Don't worry about it.
Guys, we don't need defensemen, I swear.
No,
We'll just
we
score
need
more goals than the other
but
team.
we're not trading anyone. Look at Jordan's galaxy smile. He's beautiful. Okay, Dan, closing words.
No, I'm good.
Once again, I'm going to remain consistent. Chevy, Froleak, come on.
Yeah.
That's it. Dan, you're
My
great.
name's not Dan.
That's
Great.
Yeah, you.
Guys, I'm done.
Cam's drunk. We're taking him home.
Yeah,
I'm still rough after this weekend.
yeah.
So-
All right, well, thanks for tuning in, listening. Until next time, let's do this.
Have.
Poop.
Okay, that's enough.